Shannon, are you buying what Brady is selling?
No. This is what quarterbacks say about every opposing defense they go against, and they say all these things. Oh, they're very good up front. They're very good. They can collapse the pocket. They get great pressure, Skip. They're great on the back end. Very talented defense. This is one of the worst defenses in football last year. This is what Brady said this summer, Skip. Brady admitted he doesn't tell the truth when talking in press conferences. What I say versus what I think are two totally different things. Mm-hmm. I would say 90% of what I say is probably not what I'm thinking, which is challenging. Take it away.
So you're just dismissing it all. It's all disqualified because it's all phony baloney, pre-game phony baloney.
He told you. He says, what I say is what I'm thinking.
Yep. Okay. I'm going to start with what he said about Dak Prescott. He's a really talented player. I'll give you that. I think he believes that.
Everybody in NFL, okay. Newsflash,
all right.
Everybody in this league is talented.
He goes on about Dak. Really, since the day he came into the league, he's shown to be a great leader for that team.
Okay, true.
Okay,
that's
so
10%.
I got to witness Dak Prescott play Tom Brady at Foxborough one time and one time only. They have met only once in Dak's fairly brief NFL career.
He's 5-0 against them, I think.
Against the Cowboys,
yes,
but not against
Cowboys.
Dak.
Yeah, he won it against Dak.
Okay.
Yeah, Cowboys.
If you remember that game at New England, it was a miserable day. It
Rain,
was
cold.
sleeting, sort of rainy, slippery, and his number one receiver decided no mas. I go Roberto Duran. Amari says, I quit. I just can't take Stephon Gilmore. He's got me. He's got my number.
Right.
He owns me. I'm going to go stand and watch the rest of the game, put a cloak on me, right? Okay, so Dak in that game was 19-33 for 212 yards. Not terrible given the conditions. No touchdowns, one interception. They lost 13-9. So they were in it all the way, but you never got the feeling that they were going to get over the top on New England. It just felt like New England was in control of a 4-point game the whole way.
Right.
His QBR that day was 28, scale 0 to 100. And yet Brady really wasn't any better because he was having a hard time throwing it too, and he had no receivers. Remember, that was the day he was down on N'Keal Harry.
Right.
And he was 17 of 37 for 190, one touchdown, no picks, QBR of 43. So QBR was 43-28.
Right.
But I think he has some respect for Dak. I'm going to give you that much, some respect. But to call Dak, he goes on to say, Dak's a great player. No, he's not a great player. He hasn't even come close to proving it. Could he one day prove to be a great player? He could. But Tom knows in his heart of hearts, that's a lie.
Right.
You know, that's just saying the right thing to say. Okay, so now he goes deeper into what Dallas is. They have one of the best offenses. They could have
yes.
if they stay healthy, and a very talented defense. Interesting. So, again, delusional Cowboy fan over here. So I'm trying to pick this one apart. He says they're very deep at linebacker. I will give you that one.
Yeah.
I believe he believes that because Micah Parsons is the real deal, except he's never played a single NFL regular season game.
Right.
You loved him going into the draft.
Yes.
I think you were going to be validated because I think he'll be the defensive rookie of the year. And yet he's a rookie starting alongside a Keanu Neal, who was on a historically bad, the all-time worst pass defense in the history of pro football was Atlanta's, overseen by Dan Quinn last year. And yet Keanu Neal started at safety, and he's a box safety. He's a thumper. He's a hitter. So they have now moved him up to linebacker, and in the preseason, he flashed to me.
Okay.
Like he will knock your block off.
Okay, Skip, how about say talented, but not very talented?
Okay. Jabril Cox, the other rookie at linebacker that they got, who's North Dakota State via LSU, he's going to be a talent. Trust me, he's going to be a star in this league. Maybe I shouldn't go star yet for him. He's going to be a starter in this league. So I got those three, and remember, I got Leighton Vander Esch and this guy named Jalen Smith, who both made Pro Bowls, and they're dropping down my depth chart at linebacker. So is it fair to say they're very deep at linebacker?
Yeah, they are deep.
Tom knows what he's talking about. Okay, it's deep. You can say it's kind of unproven deep, but it's pretty deep. And then he goes to say they have a good push up front. Well, that's ironic because it's all new in the middle of the line right now. It's free agents, Carlos Watkins and Brent Urban, but it's also featuring a rookie right now because Neville Gallimore blew his elbow. Okay, so the kid who spoke up and out against Tom Brady Odigizua from UCLA, third-round pick. He's going to be starting against Tom Brady after he took a shot at Tom Brady by saying he's old and he's immobile, right?
Yeah.
That was the one guy who took a shot at Tom Brady. You don't think he wrote that guy's number down?
I'm circling him on my screen when I see him.
I'm circling him. Well, the only push they got in the preseason, and it was a hellacious push, came from this kid who has one of those high motors where you're saying he just plays his tail off like he's on fire every play because it's just the way he's built. Well, will he be able to, is he going to get to Tom Brady? Will he be able to push the pile a little bit toward Brady?
Tom knows he needs to be strong, center, guard, and tackle, because that's where Tom is most vulnerable, Skip, in his lap. So you're trying to everybody knows we're trying to get him off the spot, which is easier said than done. Okay,
as you said, Tom's center is nasty. He is, and he is going to be, he'll get a piece of Osa and the two guards. That offensive line by the end of the year, it was top 3 in the league.
Yeah.
And I believe it'll be top 3 if they stay healthy, but they got good depth to that line too. Okay, so then he goes on to, says Tom Brady, I think they have a very talented secondary. Now, that one stopped me in my tracks because on my lie detector, the red alert went off.
Yeah, that BS meter.
Yeah,
You
the
like,
BS meter. Boop, boop, boop. Trevon Diggs, we saw emerge in Hard Knocks, mainly because of his son.
Yeah.
Took it over, Aiden. But is he a talented player? I'm going to give you that, right?
Yes.
Could he be a Pro Bowl player? Maybe.
Yes, I believe he will be a Pro Bowl player.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I believe he has that kind of skill.
Okay, then we go to Anthony Brown, once upon a time, a sixth-round pick out of Purdue who has started 41 football games for the Dallas Cowboys. He's the other starting corner, mainly because Patrick Surtain is a Bronco, because I believe they were sitting on Surtain. That's just me. It's possible they were sitting on J.C. Horn, but I think it was Surtain. And Jordan Lewis is going to be the slot corner, who I like but don't love. He's a second-round pick out of Michigan. Third-round pick out of Michigan. Pretty good, pretty good.
So,
but do you think Tom Brady's losing any sleep over that group?
Think about it. I got Mike Evans on one side, I got AB outside or the slot, and I got Chris Godwin. And y'all
keep going. Keep going.
But you tell me you got Trayvon Diggs, you got Jordan Lewis, and you got Anthony Brown.
Okay,
I
got DeMonte Kazee as safety. He was the starting safety for that Falcons defense that was the all-time worst pass defense in the history of pro football. And I got Donovan Wilson, who actually flashed. I was very happy with his play last year, so I do like him. But very talented.
Great, Cameron Bray, O.J. Howard.
Thank you. Scotty Miller. Keep going.
The thing is, look.
Tyler Johnson. Keep going.
And we know, Skip, look, Tom is really good at this because he learned under the Belichick. You become very complimentary. Coach Belichick can go by and he give you every name of the player and where he went to school and what he did, yada, yada, yada. But as soon as he get back to that meeting room, we're going to kick there, you know what. Yep. Mike Shanahan was the master of that. Oh, he would tell you all about the guy. Oh, this guy can do that, and that guy can do that and do all this. And as soon as he got in front of us, hello, didn't I just hear you say they were good and then we're going to do this and they can do that? And you talk about we're going to beat the brakes off them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'll bet Tom Brady spent 3 hours last night watching tape of said defense.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to get him, then I'm going to get him, and then I'm going to destroy him.
Yes.
And we should hang 40 on these guys. That's what he's thinking.
Because, Skip, with that secondary, that's not a secondary. Sometimes the secondary and the defensive line, they go hand in hand. Because sometimes you can hold up a little longer, you allow your front line to get there. Yep. And sometimes your line can put so much pressure on them, you got guys that can take chances. Are you sure your defensive line is going to be able to do anything against Tampa's O-line? Are you sure about that?
Randy Gregory's going to have to get home.
Yeah, I think Donovan Smith is. I think Randy Gregory's going to have to disrupt this game.
He is.
Because I don't know if Lawrence is Tristan Wirth is
he's a stud.
Real deal.
He going to be the deal with.
Made that very clear last season. Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.